What's good, YouTube? It's your girl Bofina1, bringing you guys yet another YouTube video. And today I wanted to get on here and just kind of make like another video going over what I talked about earlier. So for those you don't know, I've invested in Shiba Inu. However, I wanted to get on this video and talk about other investments that I'm currently in. I'm 25, so these are other investments that I think people in their 20s or really any age, especially if you're someone like, you have time, you're able to consistently invest every single month. These investments are going to be things that I would say could help make you a millionaire. you know so the first one, if you're on a job, investing in your 401k. So that's before taxes. It comes out, it helps like lower your tax bracket. So like me, I put in 6%. With my company, they match a certain portion. Now I know some people don't like that because they feel like, okay, well, it's before taxes, so when I retire and I take it out, it's going to be taxed. Yes, that is true, but it's one way to have a stream of income for when you retire, when you get older, or even if you want to take money out. Like for those you don't know, for like a hardship, um, you have a hardship loan or something that you need, like for example, like medical bill, or like your first time home buyer. This is something that you can use, or money that you can use from there to be able to help purchase that home, meaning put a specific down payment like 10% or more. Another thing, another, I guess, investment that I have is my Roth IRA. So that's after taxes. So pretty much everything in there, I mean, it's after taxes, so there won't be any type of money that will be taken out of it if I were to take money from it when I retire. Another thing is, you're able to take up to $10,000 for if you're a first-time home buyer. So that's something too. So now you got two things that are working for you. You have your 401k, and then you have your Roth. The third thing that I think is really good in terms of people investing is like ETFs. Now you may be wondering, okay, what's the difference between like a Roth and an ETF? So ETFs are, well, a Roth, a lot of times it's for someone that's younger that has more time. They're typically going to invest in like index funds, meaning that you're investing in a bunch of different companies. So for example, like the S&P 500, I'm sure a lot of you have heard about that. So the S&P 500 allows you to invest into multiple companies, have a little small portion in multiple companies. That's why you keep investing more and more. So you buy more of that index fund. So it's pretty much to diversify your portfolio. So if, let's say, Apple was to go down or Microsoft was to go down, your whole portfolio wouldn't just crash. And on average, the S&P 500 has like a most index funds have like an 8 to 10% return on investment, which is pretty good if you think about that over time, which eventually, produces compound interest. So from there, ETFs are pretty much like kind of the same thing, except that you're getting dividends from them, meaning a quarterly dividend, a certain percentage based off of how many shares you own that you can either take as profit, like you get a check, or you can reinvest back into it. So ETF is another thing I think people should look into. Another avenue that I currently invest in myself is cryptocurrency. So for those of you who don't know, cryptocurrency hasn't been out like super long, not as long as the stock market, but if you've been keeping up like with the news or finance news or business news, you will see that cryptocurrency is literally skyrocketing right now. Like it's becoming mainstream. I mean, places like AMC are going to allow for people to use like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin to be able to purchase movie tickets and to be able to purchase food and snacks. So it's a very big deal. And it's in a sense like people say, oh, what's cryptocurrency? It's exchange. But if you kind of think about it, we already do that. So for example, if you have like a credit card or a charge card, debit or credit card, right? You don't actually have that cash like in person, but you're exchanging like this credit or this debit to be able to buy goods, which is in a sense the same thing with cryptocurrency. It's all about the exchange market. So cryptocurrency is another thing. I didn't get into it like when Bitcoin was really low. I just recently started getting into more so cryptocurrency, like I would say about a year and a half ago. That's when I really started getting into investments. But that's another thing, that you're getting into it now before it becomes mainstream. Because if you get into it now and then it becomes mainstream, meaning like institutional money goes into it, meaning that it becomes regulated, then those prices on those coins they're gonna shoot up because you're gonna have institutional money going into it. So that's another thing that people should invest into. Another thing that I invest into is REITs. because right now I currently cannot afford real estate right now, meaning like being able to have like a rental property, but you can afford REITs, um, which is another form of investments. So those are my top, I don't know, maybe like 5 or 6 investments right there that I think people, especially people that have time, especially people that are looking to invest into things that, maybe they can hold on to it for 5 to 10 years to really see a return on investment, should be looking at trying to invest. That's just what I look into. I'm pretty sure there's a whole bunch of other things that people do in terms of investment, but those are the big things that I do that are pretty much having me on track where I'm 25 now. If I were to continue to work, let's say until I'm like 50 or something like that, I would be pretty well off. And if cryptocurrency takes off in the way that these, technical analysis are showing, analysts are talking about, like I may be able to retire even sooner and then use that money from that to then go invest into something else. So yeah, guys, let me know down below in the comment section, what are things that you guys invest into? I'd love to have a discussion about this. So yeah, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to drop a like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys have a good rest of your day, and I'll chat with you later. Peace, Fan Army.